And welcome into the KARK Capital View app extra on your smartphone device. And Roby, what do you got for us?
Well, you know, somebody left in studio for us this week the Dallas Morning News, a replica of the Dallas Morning News from the day after John F. Kennedy's assassination 50 years ago, which everybody was focused on late last week on Friday. Really interesting, fascinating to look at just all the coverage that was here. One of the reporters who was in the motorcade with the president actually says this is part of his lead. It was a day that started as auspiciously as any in the career of John F. Kennedy, that there were gray clouds in the sky, but the Texas sun broke through, and then the last journey began, is how he says this. Now, you actually did something interesting this week I wanted you to share with our App Extra viewers here. You actually played Walter Cronkite's video off of YouTube in its entirety as it happened in real time. What were some of your observations from that? Yeah,
it was interesting because, you know, a lot of times you hear about, obviously, everyone's seen the footage of when he announces, you know, the president's death and so forth, especially for, you know, someone like myself who obviously was not, you know, alive during the assassination of the president. To be able to kind of watch the events for about, you know, an hour, like in real time, and kind of get that context, I think is pretty interesting because, you know, I would maybe compare it to, you know, September 11th in the sense of, you know, obviously everyone sees the footage of, you know, the towers, you know, and going down. But when you watch kind of that complete broadcast, you know, for a couple hours on that Tuesday morning, you kind of get that, you know, this is the pace of how things developed, you know. So it's just interesting. From purely
you said there were a lot of things you had never heard before, I guess, in the context of that. Can you think of one or two that?
I think it was just how much Cronkite, before he announced, you know, got the official flash from the White House that, in fact, you know, the president had been assassinated, how much he just, you know, essentially just freestyled for, you know, 30 to 40 minutes, which obviously in the, you know, in a 24-hour news cycle, we see, you know, anchors do that all the time, but, you know, he was really kind of the first to do it, and especially, you know, the stakes couldn't have been any higher.
Yeah, those circumstances. Yeah. So interesting stuff there. So, all right, that does it for this week's App Extra.
Yeah, absolutely. You got any good Turkey Day plans? Just eat some turkey?
I'm going to eat some turkey. I think we may even go to IHOP for part of the day too. My kids like pancakes, so we may do something a little non-traditional and traditional with our family. So
sounds good. Well, we hope everyone out there has a good Thanksgiving holiday week as well, and we will see you on